Hi, it's so nice to have you with me today and joining me to answer a couple questions. First, why don't you start by introducing yourself to our viewers? If you
My name is Loraine. Um,
Great,
that's it.
thank you. I already knew that, but for the viewers, um, and Loraine, to start us off, what is your connection with the LGBTQ community?
My connection is just that I'm a gay woman, and a lot of my friends are. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much it.
Okay. So, were you ever aware of the fact that there is not an LGBTQ community center in Bergen County?
I'm not aware of it, or I wasn't aware of it.
Yeah,
But
I wasn't either.
yeah, but it's not like I ever looked for one either, honestly.
Right, right. Um, can you imagine that how such a center, if it did exist, would have helped you in various ways in your life or in any of the lives of your friends in the community or allies?
I I think that for me, I didn't move to Bergen County until I was, an adult
Mm-hmm.
already and pretty established in my life.
Right, right.
But I think if I was younger and I lived here, it definitely could have helped me and just given me a place to go, to be with people like myself, or to at least be with people that were accepting and could guide me if I had a question or something. you
Yeah,
know
yeah, yeah. I think that would be a really important aspect of such a community is to be able to go there and, like you said, just be with with people that you identify with and that just may not have some of the same initial questions that other people may have on their agenda.
right. I,
So
I think if I was like a parent,
yeah,
it would be a good thing. Or if I was a parent of, a child that needed a resource like that, I think that would be great. Or just as a parent to connect with other parents that were, maybe going through the same thing with their children.
yeah,
So it definitely would be a good resource in that respect.
yeah, yeah. And as I've shared with you before, that's my experience that I bring to the table is that as a parent of a young person um, who identifies as gender queer, I didn't I didn't have anywhere to go. I didn't, for resources or for connecting with other parents. Um, and I just think that really could have been helpful and ultimately helpful for my young person. Um, so, and you mentioned, being accepting. Um, I know that there are still challenges um, around language and resources and even the medical field kind of being accepting and normalizing some of the language. And I just the center would be a place maybe where that just would not even be an issue.
Hmm.
So if you could imagine a center today existing, what kind of things would you hope that it would offer? Either, maybe for you at this time in your life, although, like you said, you're established in your life and in your relationships, but maybe for you, maybe for others or for young people today. What do you think a center might offer to the youth, or yourself?
I mean, I haven't really experienced, you know, I've never really gone to a center myself, so I don't really know what um, they offer, but I would think just, um, I would imagine that it would be somewhere that, as we said before, like if I was maybe a young person, like questioning my sexuality, or just confused, or you know you know just anything, or if they had a friend or
Yeah.
a relative or something, it might be just some place to go, I would think, to just be able to talk to other people and feel safe. Like it would be a safe place to be able to talk about these issues.
Yeah.
And or if I was the parent, or you know um the friend of, or something, if it wasn't my issue myself, I might be able to go there and speak with other people that were dealing with the same questions that I had. How do I deal with this?
Yeah.
What is the right thing to say?
Yeah.
Just to me, it just seems like a center would be a place where people could, just, there'd be resources, people to talk to with like-minded people, and
Yeah, with shared experiences.
yeah, and just be like, if they didn't have the answer, at least say, well, like at least maybe guide the person to a resource, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I think that would be a big piece, is finding maybe outside resources, or answers. Being able to direct people to another source. Yeah. Well, I'm
And
really. Yeah. Go ahead, please.
I was gonna say, and maybe even like, I don't know, if there like were events that you could attend, like not necessarily serious, but like fun events too,
Yeah.
or causes, or just things like that.
Yeah.
Outings, or having discussion groups, or
Yeah.
people sharing their experience, and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Even book clubs. I mean, just
Yeah.
to be together, right? And to make relationships. And I think that's an excellent point. You know, going back to the safety, I think that's an excellent point, and that it's just so necessary in terms of safety, and a safe, protected, accepting place. And then this second piece that you're bringing up about, like, just a place to have camaraderie and fun. And my young person went to a center regularly when they were younger, in New York, and they took an art class there, and they loved it. And one of the people that they met is still one of their friends today. Almost 10 years later. So I think that's a great thought, and having activities and maybe community outreach. It could just um, really expand.
Yeah, endless possibilities.
Yeah, yeah, and I think ultimately all for the well-being of individuals and the immediate community, and then ultimately, our county. So
Exactly.
yeah, so well, thank you for helping. Um, we're doing our part, right? And do you have any other things that you want to add or say?
I think one of the things that I had read recently was just about services for like older people, seniors and things like that. And um, it's not something that I've thought about, but I have to, I guess, start thinking about that, and sooner than later. And you know, um, I just can't even imagine what that would be like, to have to go back in the closet or whatever. And I've heard I've heard the stories, I've read the articles, I've seen things that happen. People, can't visit somebody they've been with for 40 years because they're, you know, legally not married, or, things like that. I mean,
Mhm.
um, so I think those are the kind of things that would also um, be helpful if there was like information that people could get from a center like that. So it's not, I was thinking, mostly it would be good for young people, but, it would be good for people of all ages. So,
I really appreciate you bringing up that point. That's an excellent point. It could be a facility for, or a center for people of all ages to come to and to find resources. And I think we've been reading some of the same articles. I got a chill when you mentioned that, and how what a need a center like this could fill, um, to help people who maybe don't have quite such a loud voice on their own, but with support or can advocate for themselves, with the support of a community behind them to address these issues.
right.
It's
I
very
mean,
concerning.
I'm also thinking of just, you know, I was raised in a pretty religious home. So I'm thinking of people um, that are conflicted because of their religion or how they were raised. And, you know, somebody like that might just really have questions, like be really confused and not know. I mean, yes, there's the internet now and stuff, but I think for some people, just making connection like with an actual person. Um, Sometimes when you see somebody that looks like you or sounds like you, or you're like, wow, that person's going through the same thing I am. And, you know, just another like helping situation where, people can just share their experience. And, so it's not just, I think there's a lot of different outlets or a lot of different areas that something like this could
Yeah,
be
yeah,
useful.
yeah. And I love the idea in this day and age of it being person to person. You know, I see me in you, and
Mm.
you know, uh, maybe represent where I want to get to, or I see the answers in you. Um, maybe now I can find the answers in me. And I don't, it hasn't been my experience to find those kind of answers on the internet.
Well, that's the thing too. It's, there's definitely a difference when you're actually with somebody and you can see their like humanity and see like this is a living, breathing person that, that wow, they seem like a pretty decent person.
Yeah,
And, like if I saw them on the street, I might think, wow, that's a nice person, you know, and then you hear their story and it's like, if you didn't know their story, like, I don't know, there's a lot of judgment that goes on because we all think we're so different, but we're really not.
yeah, yeah.
So,
I think that's a really beautiful point, and I hope that we don't lose sight of that. Sometimes I worry um, that we are, and but um, by being here together and talking about this, then this in itself is a statement saying, we're we're two people, and we have the same concerns and the same worries and the same love and care for people in our lives. And yeah, I think it's just endless what could be accomplished there.
yeah,
um, and it could be a message to the broader community that we're here.
yeah,
Come join us.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
So I think that's beautiful. Yeah. Great. Well, any other thoughts?
No, I hope I was able to contribute a little bit. I wish you guys the best of luck
Yeah,
in your
yeah.
mission.
Yes, hopefully we'll all be hearing more about this. And with all your ideas, you might just be consulted by the planning board. I don't know. So I don't know, but so I just have a couple questions at the end. Do you feel comfortable with everything that you shared here today?
Yeah,
Great, good. And so you are aware that this is eventually going to be a video that's going to be made public on a website, and you will have your consent. I mean, you can at any time reach out to us, and we'll take and request for it to be taken down, and we will. If you just, it might take a little bit of time, but we could take it down at least off our website. So
yeah,
does that work for you?
yeah.
Good. Well, thank you so much. This has
You're
been,
welcome.
I mean, you've inspired me, even more. So thank you for your contributions, and
Thank you.
it's a gift to many. And yeah, just thanks for what you've added to my life personally, Loraine. It means a lot. So
Thank
thank you.
you. You too. All right. Bye.
Okay.